Alright, hey, how's it going? Andrew here from catskullGameing. Short week this week. It is Wednesday when I'm recording this because tomorrow, early morning, I'm catching a red eye to Maine. And that's exciting, so I'm going to be spending the weekend in Maine, but I wanted to quickly try to get my dev diary done and ready to go for Monday. What have I been working on? I haven't been doing too much to the game scene itself. You can see here I still have the same basic setup. I have, however, done some fun things kind of behind the scenes. One of them is the way that I'm doing all of my scene setup. So over here you can see all the nodes in my scene, and what I've done is I've reorganized it so that you have these different nodes. And I had this great idea to take each of these nodes, and any node that I put in here, I can make any type of node, is then added to the group. And then any child in that node, so for this one it adds them to the group interactable items, and for the rest of them it adds them to both interactable items and whatever that scene is, and it just does automatically. When I move the nodes around, they will automatically be part of those groups, which is great because on my main character, the way that he interacts with things is when he is interacting with stuff, he does it by the ray collider checking against if the collider has the method interact with ray, and if it does, those are all the interactive items, and every interactive item has a method on it, which is yes, it can interact with ray. And in interactive ray we have, if it's able to be picked up, it runs that code. If it's these different things, and it runs those codes, and so on and so forth. I could have sworn I have it somewhere. It checks for what group it's in, and if it's in that group, then it opens up the outline. Yeah, it's in group. Alright, so here it checks if it's in group and if that scene is active. And so if it's not in that group and the scene isn't active, then those items won't activate. And so when we look at our game, we can see that, oh yeah, hang on one second, I gotta... anyways, so in the game, if the main scene's active, the other scenes, their items won't highlight, but if you're in those other scenes, the items will highlight, and so on. So that's all set up so it automatically just kind of works when I move things, which is really nice. The other thing I've been working on is a shader that I have put on over the world scene. And so if we go to my cameras, we have this color rect now, which sits right here, and on this color rect we have the shader. And this is a shader that I got from, oh man, I need to find where I got the shader, but I'll put a link where I got the shader from. Pulled it straight off of the internet, so someone else's work, not my own. But what I've been able to do is I've gone in and so what I've done is I've gone in and applied this shader, and it covers the entire screen. And so as long as it's active, we have this effect. Everything still works. He moves. We can go into other scenes, which is great. And wait, I think it's this one. This one, there we go. And so the idea is that you'll start off with kind of a lower res, this dithering effect kind of activated. And then as you go through and solve the different things, you get your memory back, the dither effect will decrease, making things more visible and making things kind of pop into life. One of the reasons why I like using a dither effect is because it takes a mesh, which, you know, it's okay, but it's flat, it's kind of lifeless, it's kind of dead, and it just gives it a little bit of character with very little work on my part. And that's kind of the trade-off is, download from the internet, I don't have to do a lot, but suddenly we have something that has a new flavor, a new character that I think I could work with to really develop something that fits within this kind of styled PS3 point and click kind of vibe. So that's what I've been working on. As far as the game's concerned, just still working on trying to get this stuff figured out, and my goal now is I've also been thinking about how the scenes play out, because you start the game now and you click on the three things, and I don't have anything else really hooked up yet. I've just been doing all the prep work to set them up. And I want to get a scene changer that will then handle all of these effects, that as you go from scene to scene, various things will happen. Like the dither effect will become less as you pick up all the items in a scene. So if you start off like this, you could come down here and it wouldn't be as bad once you pick up the item. So something like that, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm Maine this weekend, and I probably don't have time to work on this project at all. So hopefully when I get back, I'll be able to start to get that stuff in. And I think once that's done, then I want to get the first questionnaire hooked up, and then keep moving on from there and get the rest of the loop done. But I think this answers one of the kind of like, what is the reward for each time you get a thing or you solve something, and this could be a way to provide an immediate visual kind of reference, like, hey, you solve this puzzle, you get clarity kind of trade-off. But that's where I'm at. Come check me out Sunday. Check out the VODs on the other stuff on the channel. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I really appreciate it, and keep coming back and checking out how the game's going. At some point, once I get this first loop done, I'll get it up on my itch page, and it'll be something that you can play. You can see any of the past 3 disasters that I have up on my itch page if you want to check that out. But yeah, thanks for checking things out, and I'll see you next week. Bye!